What's up, friends? Today we're checking out the song Super Shy by NewJeans. We'll be looking at the song from the perspective of a producer and songwriter. So expect a few pauses to go over specific elements of the song. Okay, starting off the song, we have this little brief instrumental interlude where we have these synths with some of their high end taken off. They kind of sound like these dreamy synths, and then you've got drums that have their high end frequency taken off at the beginning, and then it slowly starts to come back. It's a faster drum pattern, you know, like one that's really moving, feels like something that you would listen to as you're like driving a car in an old video game or something like that. It feels a little DDR, which is really cool. It's the type of drum beat we've heard before from NewJeans on a few of their different songs.
I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, I lean and take them though you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy.
So there's a few things they're doing in production that are really helping bring forward the vocals and make them just hyper clear. Like you can hear like everything coming out of the vocals, and they're also just pristinely produced in general and pristinely performed. But they have what's called a low pass filter on the drums that is taking away some of the higher frequencies, so we can't hear like the higher parts of the drums. We can only hear the lower sounds from the drums, and that's leaving just a ton of room in the vocals. We've also got a bass, and we've got a atmospheric synth. That synth that's just kind of like laying this kind of pad, this kind of groundwork, but it's fairly low. Like the frequencies are fairly low for that atmospheric synth. So because of that, we have just a ton of room in the high end for these vocals. Talking about how this girl's super shy. She's just so super shy.
I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine, I lean and take them though you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy. And I wanna go out with you. Where you wanna go? Find one spot, just sit and talk, looking pretty. Follow me, booty tooty 나란히 보이지 내 눈이 갑자기 빛나지 when you say I'm a dream. You don't even know my.
I really like that verse. I like the little breakdown, how, you know, we have this really fast drum pattern going, and then you have these kind of like staccato pauses. The dance moves go perfectly with it. And she's being very descriptive. The songwriting is super descriptive here. It's painting a scene of, you know, two people on a date and kind of this dream situation that she wants to be in. I feel like this communicates really well with their fan base as well, like the specific words they're using, because there is kind of this popularity almost to being shy and introverted, partially because they have a lot of room to express themselves in social medias. I would feel that a lot of people into K-pop might be people who are a little bit more shy, a little more reserved. And in this kind of shy state, they sometimes see a guy or girl that they fantasize about, and they're like, oh, I can imagine us going out, but I'm just so shy, I'm nervous to talk to him. You know? And it almost makes it cooler when someone breaks through and asks you out if you know that they're like a more shy individual, because you're like, oh, that took a little bit more guts than it would normally take.
You don't even know my name,
Really like that pre-chorus. The ba 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 da. It's really high up there. You know, a lot of the things we've heard so far from the chorus and the verse have been a little bit more in their lower ranges. Here you're hearing a lot of their head voices. And also there's this cool synth that starts every line that has this high end that like quickly disappears. So it's like it sparkles for a second and then it drizzles out. It's a really pretty synth. Nice move there.
super shy, but wait a minute while I make your mind, darling, and take them though you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make your mind, darling, and take them though you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy.
Really like that high synth at the end of the chorus, like phrases that has that kind of like, it's almost like a bell sound, but it's more smooth than a bell sound. It sounds great.
그런데 왜 이런지 I don't like that. Something about you, yeah, special and you know it, you're the top, babe. I'm super shy, but wait a minute.
Interesting. They completely skip the pre-chorus the second time around. They just have that second verse, and the second verse is super distinct from the first verse. The first verse has that very like staccato phrasing, and here we have a more legato phrasing where we're not kind of like just chopping it. We're getting real smooth over the beat. So that's really different, and it adds a nice sense of variety. We're also skipping the pre-chorus, which is just like, whoa, we're just getting right to the point, are we?
While I make you mine, 달리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy. I'm super shy, but wait a minute while I make you mine. 달리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy. You don't even know my name, do ya? You don't even know my name, do ya? 누구보다 더. You don't even know my name, do ya?
This bridge is so sick because you have this beat, this groove that's like bum 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 bum, and then the vocal kind of fits right in with it for the you don't even know my name, do ya? Da, 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 da. So once you get to the yeah, like the beat keeps going, and so you feel like that groove continuing because it's in the beat, but it's doing a very similar thing to what the vocals were doing. So the vocals are following the beat in this really interesting way, and then they divert, having this longer held note, and then they go right back in. Really great switch up of the groove. Only kind of like the second time we've heard of major switch up, this in the first verse, so it's well placed because the groove's been so consistent. It's interesting to have like a little off put.
You don't even know my name, do ya?
They put a little vocoder, it sounds like, on the chorus vocal for the end there. So they have a bridge going with the chorus vocal there, sounding a lot more electronic because it has that that vocoder on it. A vocoder basically takes a vocal and turns it into a synth sound. Yeah, great song by NewJeans. It sounds a lot like their Coca-Cola song, and it just sounds like NewJeans in the end. I feel like NewJeans has this very distinct sound that is very much them, which isn't as common in K-pop. I feel like most K-pop groups, I listen to them and I'm like, oh, this sounds like K-pop, but I feel that they and Blackpink are similar in that they have a very distinct sound that is them. Like if you want to listen to a Blackpink-like sound, you kind of have to listen to Blackpink. And if you want to listen to a NewJeans sound, if you want to listen to those fast drums and those chiller synths, kind of like chill wave type synths with hyper clear vocals, you're not really going to get that a lot of other places. I mean, Pink Pantheress does kind of similar things, but it's not quite like how NewJeans does it. So basically, you've got NewJeans. And I think that's a really smart strategy to give a K-pop group just their own really particular sound, whereas you have a group like Twice who is phenomenal, like one of the best K-pop groups out there, but their sound is K-pop. You know, it's very representative of the overall brand of K-pop. I think it's fascinating. I really enjoyed this song. I think NewJeans is great. And I hope that my little additions on the production and on the songwriting and on the approaches for the group helped you better appreciate the song and the group. If it did, I'd really appreciate it if you like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, check out my music. I've got a cool little dance song with my band Jack. It's called Dance Into the Stars. Appreciate it if you check it out. Thanks so much. Catch you on the flip.